Hello everyone there. Welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Krishna Priya here, who has come again for the sake of explaining another poem in the First Flight book for class 10, and it is Fire and Ice. Looking at the title, we might understand, wow, this is a different kind of a combination. It's true. The combination is totally different. We can't expect contrasting things to be together. But this is something which is taken up by Robert Frost to explain things in a different way. So what is it? Let's see what's there in store for us interconnected to this poem. We all know about the poet. I'm not going to deal much with the poet since we do not have any questions in CBSE with the poet or the poets. So here we go. We can understand how scary it is with the red and the blue combination, which is rare. You can see the way the whole thing is burning. It's fire. And on one side we have fire, the other side we have ice. So, how do you think we can get any kind of clarity about what can happen if there is fire or if there is ice? Is fire going to cause any kind of a problem, or is it ice that's going to cause any kind of a problem? You might have seen many mountaineers telling that they got a lot of frostbite. Yes, it is deadly. It's the same thing with fire. Fire and the problem that the fire causes when it is not tamed, we all know. It is deathly. But majority of us do not know the problem that ice causes. It's because we do not get that much of exposure to ice. Let us see what this short poem by Robert Frost is and what is the inner meaning, the profound meaning. Let's go to the introduction first before we proceed further. Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of the two ways. Is it necessary to talk about the world ending? Yes, it's an inevitable thing. It's because almost all varieties of scientists talk about it. Why is it that each and every scientist is raising a hue and cry about it? It is because we are causing a lot of destruction. How is that we are causing a lot of destruction? It's because of our selfishness. So, the poet here compares fire and ice to two human emotions. One is hatred and the other is desire. And these two things, the poet has taken these 2 points and he has made us understand that everything, the whole world, is surely going to be destroyed because of these 2 elements in the human beings. And the emotions are hatred and desire, and if we take the physical components, it is the fire and ice. So, both of them are equally catastrophic. That is, they can cause death, they can cause destruction, they can cause total end. So, let's see the whole poem line by line, but first, let me read out the whole poem for you. Fire and ice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Reading the short poem, we might get a little bit of a thought. What are the things that this fire and ice can cause? Let's go line by line. Let me take the first 4 lines. It's a very short poem of 9 lines. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So we have the simple meanings here. The meanings of desire, which every one of us know. It's a strong feeling like you want something. And these things which are used for desire, let me tell you one thing here is, it might not be that it's a thing which you should require. It might not be something which you should have compulsorily. And that's the reason why it might cause some kind of a negative result. And the other word which is new. It's not new, you might have heard it already, but let's make ourselves clear with that, and that's favor, approval, support, acceptance. We take all these things for favor. So the poem expresses the profound idea that the world would end in one of the ways, fire or ice. So we know that fire and ice cause too much of destruction. When we see these two words, fire and ice, we understand that they are destructive. It is because we have here people who argue, people who discuss, the scientists especially. In case they say that, come on, we are utilizing so much of chlorofluorocarbons, we are making our life comfortable at the expenses of others. Others here are all the other living creatures. So what are we causing? We are making the earth get heated up from inside. And that is the reason why the poet says that he is ready to accept the idea of the scientists or one group of people who say that fire is the cause of destruction. So does he say that it's only fire which can cause destruction? I don't think so. It is because he is giving equal importance to fire and ice. So why is it that he gives equal importance to fire and ice? It is because they are destructive. Anything in small measure, a measure where you can tame, is good. If it exceeds the limit, then it is destructive. So, he is telling that the whole of the earth, which gets heated up, in case I am drawing the whole earth in this way, it gets heated up from within, the rays of the sun come into it, it's getting heated up. So what happens? We can find all these fiery things. The whole world is getting heated inside and outside, and ultimately it is total destruction. All the life forms are going to perish. That is what he says about fire. And he is telling that he is in favor of those people who tell that earth is going to have an end with fire. Now let's see what's the next thing. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in I. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. I have put this again here so that in case you had missed something in the previous part, let's see. So, what are the people in the second group telling? That is the scientists. They argue, they discuss. Let's not say argue, it is discussion. It is because they're saying that if the temperatures are coming down, we had seen in the previous one, when there is fire, if the temperatures were going up, what was happening? The earth was getting heated. And when it is getting heated, what is happening? It's causing destruction. Same kind of philosophy is applicable when the whole world is getting lower and lower in the temperatures. It also has the same effect, the catastrophic effect, the effect which causes total loss of life everywhere. And once again, we have here these two words, hatred and desire. What is hatred? What is desire? He is telling that we should all be aware of the fiery fire. And this fiery fire is desire. I want this, I want that, I cannot be without this, I cannot be without that. And those things might not be those which you really need. They might just be such kind of things with which you can continue your life without any kind of hindrance. But there are people who want it. And that is negative. That is the reason the poet says, no, let's not have such kind of fiery fire, that is the desire. So he is bringing out that the human emotions cause chaos. Longing for something is destructive. True, we can long for something which is helpful for not only us as individuals, but for the fellow human beings, or for that matter, even all the other living creatures. In case we are not doing that, then we are not in favor of helping ourselves. It is because you help yourselves, you're helping the environment. Otherwise, it's like poking our own eye with our own finger. And that's not a good thing at all. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. He now continues to talk about how he is making us understand that the world is going to perish. Perish, to die. What is suffice? Be sufficient. That means it is enough. In case it is enough, you say, yes, suffice is enough. If something is enough, then that is for the negative thing, for destruction. Then by not waving off the first option of fire, he considers if the world has to expire twice, ice would equally be competent in ending it. So he is telling that let us take the first cause of fire. In case it is fire, he says yes, he is ready to accept that the world is going to end with fire. In case there is some blocks of ice and we think about that, they are like competitors. Competitors for what? Is it something positive? Not at all. Competitors for something negative. But one kind of a difference is there in the destruction that these things cause. Fire might cause destruction quicker than the destruction that ice causes. The reason for that is fire, it burns faster and the things go on fast. But when it is ice, it is slow, but it is steady. The meaning of it is the process of becoming cool starts slowly and it continues, like getting cooler and cooler is increasing by the day. Maybe by week, by month, by year. And so what will happen? You might not find this destruction caused by ice immediately, but it is an inevitable thing. It happens compulsorily. So, in case you have any option to say which is the thing which can cause destruction, which is the thing which can cause destruction, both are equal. That is what the poet says. Let's see the next literary devices here. The rhyming scheme, it's very simple and easy. It's because we have ABA, ABC and BCB. In order to find out what are the words that are there, let us see what are the words that we have. We take the book, you see, you have in the first stanza, the last word is fire. Let me write here. And in the second line, you have ice. And the third line, you have desire. And the fourth line, you have fire. Fifth line, you have twice. Let me write the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me write here 6, 7, 8, 9. So the sixth one is hit, The 9th one I'm writing first, suffice. The 8th one is great. And we have ice. Looking at all these words, we can understand very easily this rhyme scheme. A, which is A? Here, fire, the sound of ire. Desire, fire. I think it's easy for you to understand, isn't it? Ire, ire, ire. We have got it in 3 places. Correct? And then we have the B sound. That is, we are taking the literary devices for the rhyming scheme with the B, where you have the sound of ice. Ice. So we have ice, we have ice, we have ice, ice. We have all these places, we have ice. And these are all B, B, B and B. And hate and great, we have C. I think it is understood. With fire, we have A, and then we have with this B, 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 and these two are C and C. In this way, we have ABA, ABC, and BCB. And the next one that we have is assonance. So, what is assonance? Let us deal with assonance. You might have seen alliteration. Before I start with assonance, let me talk about alliteration. The reason for that is alliteration and assonance must be understood together so that you will not be able to get any kind of a confusion. When it is alliteration, we check for the repetition of the consonant sound in the beginning of any word which are adjacent, that is close by, in any given line. That must be borne in mind. I repeat, the consonant sound must be in any given line in the beginning of a word. So it can be for minimum of 2 words. But what is assonance? Assonance is not like that. Assonance is the sound. See, it is the repetition of the vowel sound in the same line. And it's not particularly in the beginning. It can be anywhere for the word. Now, in this sentence, we have the long sound of O. And for what sentence it is? I hold with those who favor ice. For this sentence, I hold with those who favor ice, we have the O sound repeated, and that is assonance. A repetition of vowel sounds in the words, but in any particular given line. So, A, E, I, O, U. You get any of those sounds repeated, then we call it as assonance. Alliteration, only the consonant sound in the beginning of any word, and that too in any given line, they must be placed closely. And the example is world, will. W sound is repeated. Now, let's go to the next one. The other literary devices, we have imagery and anaphora. So, what is imagery? We all watch movies, isn't it? And when we watch movies, we react with all our sense organs, and that is the reason why we enjoy a movie better than maybe a teacher teaching in the classroom. That is, we react to anything which is shown to us. You see some kind of food item, your mouth waters, isn't it? You see someone dancing, automatically you do feel like, the sound and everything, it makes you get that momentum. And that's the reason here, imagery is nothing but it is used to make the readers perceive things involving their 5 senses. So, when some say the world will end in fire, automatically you will get a picture of the world and the fire in your mind's eye. And that is imagery. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. Even here you get these things. And what is anaphora? Anaphora is a repetition of word or words in the beginning of any consecutive lines. This you can see in politicians' speeches, children. I think you remember. I promise all the people that it goes on. I promise you that. And then in the next sentence again they say, I promise. So it goes on and on and on. So that is anaphora. It is repeated in order to make us get that, yes, it's something done for a strong reason and it is something worthwhile. So this is how it is with anaphora. The other literary devices in the last two which we have are personification and enjambment. When it is personification, we all know that in case you give any lifelike qualities to inanimate things, that is lifeless things, we use the word personification. Suppose this stylus talks to me. Hey, I'm helping you. Can't you take care of me? This stylus is speaking. In case you say that, then this is personified. The stylus is personified, giving life. So here in this, the fire and ice, the poet talks. He doesn't make directly the fire and ice talk in this particular poem, but we understand that they are interconnected to the human emotions. And that is the reason why we can say that they are personified. And the next one is enjambment. Enjambment, it is defined as a thought or a clause that does not come to an end in any given line. It goes on like that till the next line, and maybe after 3 or 4 lines you have one punctuation. Then you can understand it as enjambment. I usually tell my students to remember enjambment like it's not getting jammed, like there is nothing to stop. So there is no comma or full stop or semicolon, any kind of punctuation marks in a given line. At least 2-3 lines it has to continue like that. Then we call it as enjambment. So in the poem, in case you see, from what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor ice. And even the next stanza also you have, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. And with this we come to an end of the poem Fire and Ice. I hope you like my teaching. Please do give a thumbs up, like, share, and let's see what's going to be next. I'm sure you'll be able to wait for my next videos. All the best. See you all.